Top 10 places that don't feel real. Some places on Earth are so incredible that they seem impossible to be real. The colors look too perfect, the landscapes seem too dramatic, and the scenery often feels more like a fantasy movie than a real destination. Yet every place on this list actually exists. From towering mountains and endless canyons to crystal-clear waters and surreal landscapes, these are 10 places that don't feel real. Let's begin. 10. Monument Valley, USA. Few landscapes are as instantly recognizable as Monument Valley. Located on the border of Arizona and Utah, this legendary desert region became famous through countless Western movies. Massive sandstone formations rise from the desert floor, creating one of the most iconic landscapes in North America. Driving through Monument Valley feels like entering another era. The endless roads, the red rock towers, and the vast open space create a scene that almost looks artificial. Yet everything here was shaped naturally over millions of years. It's one of the few places on Earth that genuinely feels like a movie set. Number 9. Bali Rice Terraces, Indonesia. The rice terraces of Bali look almost too perfect to be real. Bright green fields cover entire hillsides, forming patterns that resemble giant staircases carved into the landscape. For centuries, local farmers have maintained these terraces using traditional irrigation systems. The result is one of the most peaceful and beautiful landscapes in the world. Mist rises above the fields in the early morning, while tropical sunlight transforms the terraces into a sea of green. It's a place where nature, culture, and history come together in perfect harmony. Banff National Park, Canada. Banff feels like a place created by imagination. Located in the Canadian Rockies, the park is famous for its turquoise lakes, dramatic mountain peaks, and endless forests. Lake Louise and Moraine Lake are among the most photographed places in the world. The water appears almost unreal. Its bright turquoise color comes from tiny rock particles carried by glacier meltwater. Surrounded by towering mountains, the entire landscape looks more like a digital painting than a real destination. Santorini is one of the most recognizable islands on Earth. Whitewashed buildings sit high above the sea, creating a striking contrast against the deep blue waters of the Aegean. The island was shaped by a massive volcanic eruption thousands of years ago. Today, visitors are greeted by stunning cliffside villages, breathtaking sunsets, and views that seem almost impossible. From above, Santorini looks like something designed by an artist rather than nature, and that's exactly what makes it unforgettable. Number 6. Iceland. Iceland often feels less like Earth and more like another planet. Volcanoes, glaciers, black sand beaches, waterfalls, lava fields, and geothermal springs all exist within a relatively small area. Few countries offer such a variety of landscapes. One moment you're standing beside a massive waterfall, the next you're surrounded by volcanic terrain that resembles the surface of Mars. Iceland constantly reminds visitors how powerful nature can be. 5. Swiss Alps, Switzerland. The Swiss Alps have become the definition of a perfect mountain landscape. Snow-covered peaks rise above green valleys, while crystal-clear lakes reflect the mountains like mirrors. Every season transforms the scenery. Summer brings vibrant green meadows. Winter turns the region into a snow-covered wonderland. Small villages, mountain railways, and dramatic viewpoints make the Alps feel almost too beautiful to be real. It's no surprise that Switzerland continues to inspire travelers from around the globe. The Norwegian fjords are among the most dramatic landscapes on Earth. Massive cliffs rise directly from deep blue water, creating scenery that seems impossible in scale. Many fjords were carved by glaciers thousands of years ago. Today, they remain some of the most spectacular natural formations in Europe. Waterfalls cascade down steep rock faces, while tiny villages sit peacefully along the shoreline. The combination of mountains, water, and endless open space creates an atmosphere unlike anywhere else. Number 3. The Maldives. The Maldives are famous for one thing above all else: water that looks completely unreal. Located in the Indian Ocean, this tropical paradise consists of hundreds of islands surrounded by crystal-clear lagoons. The shades of blue are so intense that photographs often look edited, yet the colors are completely natural. From above, the islands appear like tiny jewels floating in the ocean. For many travelers, the Maldives represent the closest thing to paradise on Earth. New Zealand looks like a fantasy world brought to life. The country became globally famous as the filming location for The Lord of the Rings, and once you see the landscapes, it's easy to understand why. Towering mountains, dramatic fjords, rolling green hills, and ancient forests create scenery that feels almost magical. Many places look untouched by modern civilization. The variety of landscapes is extraordinary. Within a single day, you can travel from snow-covered mountains to coastal cliffs and lush valleys. Number 1. The Grand Canyon. At number 1 is one of the greatest natural wonders on Earth. The Grand Canyon. Carved over millions of years by the Colorado River, this immense canyon stretches for hundreds of kilometers across Arizona. The scale is almost impossible to comprehend. Photographs rarely do it justice. Standing at the edge of the canyon, visitors are confronted with a landscape so vast that it feels unreal. Layers of rock reveal millions of years of geological history. At sunrise and sunset, the canyon glows in shades of red, orange, and gold. The world is filled with incredible places, but these destinations stand out because they challenge what we think is possible. From tropical islands and dramatic mountains to vast deserts and ancient landscapes, each of these places proves that reality can be just as impressive as fiction. Which of these places would you visit first? Let us know in the comments below.